Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and somebody's trying to do a wedding gift of Naples, Florida, and somewhere in Wisconsin or something. They do not trace where the flip, and I'm suggesting he redraw them. So I'm going to make it really small just so it kind of fits on my page. That doesn't really matter, but we're going to be doing a lot of nudging. And if you see, I've made it 4.5, so we're going to set our nudge factor on 5. That's pretty important. You could trace it and change it a different color. And I've done several videos on drawing a map, but I'm going to use a few different tools on this particular one just to kind of show you how I do it today. And then you just need to go to that state, which is Florida, and you can make that symbol, and you can make these symbols and put them in there later. And then you just need to concentrate on, the lines. So we're just going to take a 2-point line and go from that to about there, and then angle it to there, then angle it to there, then angle it to there. And I'm just touching my mouse and letting go of the mouse, and just kind of, you could use the freehand tool. Now here I'm going to make a square, a corner. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm going to show you how you could do that. Now, with having the nudge factor, see, you can nudge stuff out of the way, and then you can see it a little bit more clearly. We've got some sharp angles, so we're going to take the smoothing tool, which everybody has if you have X7 or above, make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to click on my item until I see my note, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of a smoothness to it. Now, with that said, this corner could be done with the smoothing tool like I've just done, or because it's just one node, and it'd be better probably to put it back on the map, so we can just put it back on the map. And what we're going to use this tool, we're going to take the shape tool and put it on that node and select that node and go to Windows, Dockers, Corners, and see how it made that corner. Now it's set on 0.08. I'm going to set it on 0.1 and hit apply. Whoop, I must have deleted it. Well, there it is. Move it back. Well, I went too far back. I've got my smoothness going. I'm going to back up and nudge it back over. That's what's so nice about the nudge factor. Now, I'm going to grab that node and I'm going to apply that 0.1 and see that curve. And if this was more, in the right position, and you could always change the nodes around even after you smoothed it. Now, here's a pretty important factor. That's a pretty thick road. So you're going to want to make it thick, and we're going to use them all red right now, but we're going to double click on it and make it something a little thicker, and even thicker still, maybe make it 3. That's too much, make it 2. And if you ever want something in between, there's a 2 and a 3, you can actually type in 2.5 and make that. That still might be a little bit thick. So let's, here's the most important part of that. Let's make it 2, but here's the deal. Scale with object, because later on when we scale this map back up, you want that line to stay the same line. And then you could do this, depending on, he's making a puzzle. So I'm just going to use the 2-point line again, and I'm going to go there. If I find it easier just to do it like that, we'll go ahead and draw in these streets. And then we're going to draw in this one, make sure you get on the edge. And we're just going to go from there to there, there to there, there to there. And then I'm going to zoom in. You can always go away from your item. And as long as you put it back on that node, you can continue the line. And then we're going to go down to there. Let's go ahead and while we're here, let's go ahead and do this road. And just, you got to remember, you're just trying to make a map to engrave. It doesn't have, nobody's going to be driving on it. So we're a little bit off here. And that's showing a kind of a chamfered corner. You could have that, but I don't think the road's actually like that. So take this one here and go like 0.02, hit apply and see how it curved it. Now you could grab all three of these nodes and move it down. Now this, granted, this is a lot of work. Now up here, but it's going to be well worth it at the end. Double click on your line and get a node. See, so we made that corner. Same thing up here. You could actually add a node there and select both these nodes and right click, turn them into a curve, and then you could grab that line and kind of curve it. I don't like the way that looks, so we could take the smoothing tool just real quick and kind of hit that line. Now, once again, now you've got a couple of roads, so you need to move your map and take your new lines, and for some reason these lines aren't connected. You could always take the shape tool. And the one thing nice about nudging, you can always, so grab that line and do that right there. Now, grab all these new lines with the pick tool and change them to like they're smaller roads, so let's go 0.1 and make sure you scale with object. Then all you have to do is just, do the rest of the roads are relatively straight. Just make it deal. And then you're just gonna, after you get and I might make a second video on how to get the symbols, but go through here and start putting your, the towns and type in, that's way too big, but it doesn't matter right now. And then just reduce it to where you think I'm going to go ahead and make it red just so we can see it against the other one. Now, you don't want it right on that road, and you'd want all your roads done probably at this time. And, it actually looks bigger, but so we can scrunch it up. And they actually have a capital, and if you ever want to just change that, take your text tool and just highlight the S and change it to a capital S. You don't want that springs hitting the road itself, and that road might be too thick. If you remember, we made it 2 points. Let's make it 1.5 points. And then that's really all to it, because you're just nudging, because the map is going to stay, so in this line, you could do the same thing, start there. I'm going to just make it square. Now that has a little bit of jig at the end. And then just use your, grab that shape tool and put it like that, select it, apply it. If it's too much or not enough, just back up and let's go 0.05, hit enter. You'll get a lot smoother line, and then you just do one at a time. But when you do this, you change it just a little bit. So you might have to, move that node up. If you can see we're a little bit off. And like I said, nobody's going to critique it that much. Grab that, maybe even add a node to put it down. And then just don't forget to, and you could set your line for default, and I'll show you how to do that. Double click on the pen tool. Let's make that 1 point, scale with object. Now, if you're going to be doing something like this, and really everything you do should scale with object. So without anything selected, click on your pen tool, graphic, okay, and just, still drawing a hairline, but scale with object. And then go up to tools, save as default, have all these checked, save as default. So now if you look, if we draw a line, we go down here to the pen tool, the scale with object is already there. And the reason I'm going to say do that is because now let's nudge this together. Now let's make this map 20 inches with the ratio locked. See, the line stayed the same. And we'll do a little example right here. We'll draw one line that is scale with object, another line that's will change from scale with object, take away scale with object. Now if we look, because we're already big, but if we take these two lines and bring them in, it's really hard to tell on a hairline. You know, it's really going to help you on if, so we got scale with object off. Let's put that like that 2-point line. So this is a hairline that's scale with object. Now let's make them big. Look, see how thin the line got? I mean, it looks like it's just really thin compared to going back to if we make it real small. So it makes it equally proportionate. Anyway, I'm going to do one more video on this on how to put these road signs in and critique a little bit more. Like you'd want these two lines touching. Just take your shape tool and just make sure you go kind of to the center. So let's do one more video on putting in these road signs. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.